Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I am your host, the Housecoat Gamer. Today we're going into the future and seeing a conference be done. Let's just roll the intro, shall we?
We have been contacted by the Federation from the 29th century. Their Temporal Integrity Commission is charged with protecting the timeline from factions who might want to change history. Considering our recent experiences, we feel the need to better understand the rules of time travel. However, it is important we don't know too much about the future, so we have decided to designate one representative to learn what we need to know. Given your record, you were the logical choice. You are to rendezvous with the USS Vostok. Her captain will give you a more thorough briefing upon arrival.
Serve.
Please report to the USS Vostok.
It's a pleasure to see you again. I'm glad you were selected as your time's representative. I can't imagine a better selection. Of course, I already knew you were going to be chosen, but that doesn't change my appreciation. Your recent experiences with time travel have begun a new phase of development, and a perilous one at that. Understanding the rules of time travel is of vital importance. Starfleet personnel are strictly forbidden from directly interfering with historical events, and are required to maintain the timeline when possible. We're also restricted from revealing too much about the future. These principles have served Starfleet well. Now that the time travel genie is out of the bottle, it'll be hard to get it back in. The tech will spread through the galaxy, and species after species will learn the secrets of time. Are you ready to visit the future?
Welcome to New Jem'hadar.
Here we are. Since you're from the past, I'll be your chaperone during the event, hopefully protecting you from any temporal incidents. Purely procedural, of course. You've already demonstrated your ability to remain silent about things you aren't supposed to know. Welcome, gentle being, to the signing of the Temporal Accords. Your biosigns aren't listed on our register today. I'll need to... wait. I know you. I wrote a paper about you in classical history class at the Academy. I must say, you look much younger than your holo images. Wait, what year did you come from? Oh, that explains why you look so young. Well, you sure have an eventful future ahead of you. Forget I said that. I'm not supposed to say things like that. To be honest, I'm still getting used to the new temporal regulations. They can be a little confusing. Anyway, the TIC crews are scrubbing the hall for anything that might cause a paradox if visitors from the past, like yourself, encounter them. It will be just a few moments. Perhaps you would like to chat with some of our other guests here in the lobby. I believe they have all been cleared for trans-temporal interactions. I'm sure you'll have plenty to talk about.
Come on. What do you require?
The Nakul are here to protest the signing of these unlawful, biased accords. The Tholians ravaged our homeworld thanks to the Federation's ineptitude. In one dark moment, my people were scattered throughout the stars. All we were, our history, our way of life, was nearly lost. And when we needed the Federation the most, we were denied. Terrorists, they called us. Criminals, the dregs of the galaxy. These words, these deeds will never be forgotten or forgiven. day, the Federation and their lackeys come to tell the galaxy which timeline is best and what they'll do to keep it that way. But who are they to dictate such terms? To tell us that their history is more important than ours?
Attention all guests. The main hall is now open. Please make your way to your seats.
The Nakul are not here to sign these accords. We have already been victims of time-traveling aliens. But somehow this incursion into the timeline has been overlooked. Perhaps because of its importance to the founding of the Galactic Union. We proposed an amendment to restore our home world in the timeline, but it was rejected. Therefore we are here, with all eyes of the galaxy upon us, to point out the hypocrisy and unlawfulness of these accords.
Your uniform. 25th century, correct? You're definitely a visitor from the past, and an honored one at that. Welcome to the 28th century. I hope you'll enjoy seeing what your work and sacrifice has wrought.
The Borg have a checkered past when it comes to time travel, particularly where the Federation is concerned. Thankfully, we've had the chance to make amends. The Cooperative is proud to be a part of today's proceedings.
These accords are going to provide quite the opportunity for historical studies of economic matters. I hear the Grand Nagus is going to formally announce several new temporal rules of acquisition soon. I hope at least one of them covers going back in time to beat someone to a deal.
We Kabali are quite thankful to see the Accords go into effect. Many who disagree with our customs could be tempted to return to a point in time where those customs could be disrupted permanently.
Time travelers are cowards. Their breeding conspiracy that lies behind the present, rather than the memory of the past, the dream of the future.
The Tholian Assembly has decided to support the Accords. We are concerned that a rogue individual or species could disrupt our development. The Accords do not go far enough. We want to end all time travel for any reason. We will continue to lobby for change aggressively. Should the Union fail to preserve the timeline, the Assembly will succeed by any means necessary. That is all.
Well, one of our very special guests. It is so nice to meet you. I am Wixit, your humble master of ceremonies for this historic event. Quite an honor, wouldn't you say? So exciting! This ceremony is about to begin, so you should find your seat. But I'd love to chat with you after the signing.
Jolan True, you are from the past. From before the time the Romulans joined the Federation, I'll wager. How strange all of this must be for you. The entire galaxy unites in preserving the timeline. This is truly a momentous day for all.
Delegates and honored guests, your attention please. The signing ceremony is about to begin. Please take your seats.
Representatives from dozens of species have gathered to witness this historic event. It looks like they are getting ready to begin the formal signing. Of course, this is largely ceremonial. The negotiation... Wait, there is some kind of disturbance.
This oppression will not stand. The time stream shall be free. We will liberate the galaxy from the tyranny of the temporal accords. we shall wipe the stain of the Federation from history!
Quick, get the delegates to safety! The Krenim are taking the delegates hostage! The Krenim have grabbed the delegates and are holding them hostage in some nearby offices. This is damn peculiar. We're facing a major temporal flux here. The hostiles have neutralized embassy security, but it looks like they weren't expecting us to be here. It's up to us to rescue the delegates. Watch out! More Krenim beaming in! More Krenim! Neutralize them as quickly as possible. We need to save those delegates.
Offices. Please, anyone, help!
The Krenim are holding us hostage, requesting immediate assistance!
Hang on, we're on our way!
Cooperate, and you won't be harmed. Resist, and your safety cannot be guaranteed.
I shall live to serve the Founders another day! My thanks to you, of course.
Enemy target.
You saved my world, and now you saved me. I'm beginning to like you.
It was a good day to die for the Krenim.
My life path was at an end. My thanks for proving me wrong.
This wasn't supposed to happen. History says the Accords were signed and there was no mention of an attack. Those look like Krenim ships.
This conference will not continue. I won't abide it. All ships fire at will. Leave no survivors. I recognize that ship. Oh, not this.
It's a failure.
The Nakul have used the Krenim attack as a cover to attack the temporal sensor array. All our forces are tied up fighting the Krenim. We can't afford to lose that array. It monitors the time stream for incursions. If it were damaged, people could travel into the past without being detected. Curious. The Krenim and Nakul vessels have started fighting each other in the confusion. Let's make the most of that, shall we? Got the Krenim on the run over here. Stay focused on the array. Most of the Krenim ships. Engaging Anoraks now. The more the merrier. Researcher on the Anorak's timeship project, if memory serves. I thought as much. Something must have disturbed the timeline. I'm afraid you will need to return to your own time to investigate. I'll accompany you, but I can't interact with anybody from your time. I'll open a portal when you're ready. Are you ready now?
Welcome back to Kiana. We hadn't expected to see you again so soon. To what do we owe the pleasure? Noye? Well, he's been working on some secret project of late. To be honest, he's been more than a little hostile. And that's saying something for Noye. I was about to check in with him. if you would like to accompany me.
Oh, it's you. I thought I'd seen the last of you after you flew off to your great victory over the Iconians. Well, what do you want? I'm very busy. Come now, you can read, can't you? Access my latest report to command if you want to know what I'm working on. Feel free to waste the time of the charming bureaucrat standing next to you, but I'll thank you to stop wasting mine. Now, if this interrogation is over, I've more important matters to attend to. Good day.
Like I said, more than a little hostile. He's been like this for some time now, and no one's sure why.
Treason?
Noye? I mean, sure, he's been difficult to work with, but... Oh, I hope you're wrong. Noye has top-level access to everything we're working on here. I don't need to tell you how much damage that could do in the wrong hands. Let me call up his files. He was working on the Anoraks. Wait a minute. It looks like he was accessing the launch protocols and docking clamp.
I see you found my farewell gift, Tralla. I'm so glad. As for you, I'm taking command of the Anoraks now. I can see that bothers you greatly. So will the numerous bombs I've left behind.
Noye stole the Anoraks? I can't believe it. How could he do such a thing? What drove him to betray us like this? There's only one way to find out. Computer, bring up the research notes and personal logs of researcher Noye. Authorization Tralla 23, Victor 6 Sigma.
Please input.
Personal log supplemental. We had some visitors from the Alliance today. Noye was rather rude to them, but I managed to smooth things over. This time. Still, he has good reason to be stressed. The war isn't going well, and there's a lot of pressure on him right now. He could be a bit more agreeable, however. Perhaps a peace offering. Those Terran snack cakes he's so fond of with the... what is the word? Nougat. I tried to tell him about the baby again last night, but he was so stressed out. I just couldn't add to his burden. Hopefully things will calm down a bit soon and I can tell him. On a positive note, my work is progressing quite well. I believe these logs should now be shielded from any kind of temporal incursion.
Personal log supplemental. My review of the time capsule files is complete. What I have learned has shocked me to the very core of my being. I had a wife, and she was pregnant. My wife and unborn child were murdered by the Federation and their allies. They devastated my people, murdered my family, and erased an entire species from time and space. I cannot let this stand. This I vow. I shall not rest until I have restored my family or avenged their deaths. Time itself shall be the instrument of my vengeance.
Please.
Personal log, supplemental. At last, I have found them, the Tutarians. Or rather, what they have become. Some of them managed to escape the treachery of the Federation, finding sanctuary in a trans-dimensional void. They are powerful. So powerful that some primitive species worship them like gods. And yet, they are trapped in their realm, no longer able to exist within prime space. But I can help them. I can release them from durance vile. With these builders at my side, I shall have my vengeance for Clouda.
What the? We're under attack!
Noye has returned, and he's made a number of potent modifications to his ship. We could use some help up here with him and his allies.
I have been waiting for this for a long time. At last, I take the first fateful steps upon my path of vengeance. As always, your thinking is so limited. For you, it has been moments, but for me, it has been years. Years of planning, building, all to return to this moment in time, to end you. Oh, but it does, believe me. You took them. My wife, my unborn child. Time was your weapon then, and it is mine now. With it, I will eradicate your wretched alliance, just as you wiped the Tutarians from history. But first things first. It's time for you to die.
This is Walker. We've got our hands full with Noye over here, but we'll keep him busy while you defend the station. We could use a hand once it's secure, though. Anorax packs quite a punch. Noye has learned some new tricks. This definitely isn't the same Anorax we left a few minutes ago. I thought we'd lost you. What happened to Noye? Damn.
A rogue agent out there with a ship like the Anorax is a real big problem. One step at a time. Let's get you back to the 25th century once you're ready for the trip.
Noye turned against us? With the Anorax, this Margui poses a great threat to the galaxy. We haven't seen the last of him. The surprise actions of the Nakul are also a concern. When will we see their knives again, I wonder? Regardless, I think you'll agree, the battlefield just got a lot bigger.
Housecoat Gaming signing off.